Hey, what's up, everybody? Podcast time.
Yo.
The Carson's podcast episode.
We made it.
Carson and Carson.
Yeah.
Did you feel like growing up like your name was a boy name or a girl name?
Boy name.
Yeah.
Did you feel like growing
Boy
up
name.
your name was a boy
I
name?
feel like Carson with a
Yes.
K is a girl name.
Oh.
In my eyes, Carson with a K is a girl name.
Okay.
That's how.
Do you know any other girls named Carson?
No.
Do you know any other boys named Carson?
Yes.
Do you know any other girls named Carson?
No.
Ooh.
That's
'Cause it's a boy
strange,
name.
huh? That's how I feel about Jamie.
Is it a girl name?
Yeah, I don't know any other boys named Jamie.
Haley's dad name was Jamie.
Is it like James and they just called him Jamie?
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, Jamie. Like
legit
that's me.
legal name Jamie.
I'm legally Jamie. And every Jamie I knew growing up,
But yours is spelled like a boy.
What's the other way to spell it?
No, like females go like Jaime, like Jay Jones' mom.
Yeah.
Miss Jamie. That's the.
I did
female way
have
to
a
spell
buddy
it.
in high school. His name was Jamie Quirk, and
That's a cool name.
J Dog. He taught me how to play golf. He gave me my first set of golf clubs.
Yeah.
Jamie Quirk, if you're out there, I think he's doing well and doing like some ministry work now, which is
Nice.
awesome because he wasn't that guy in high school. So praise the Lord for redemption and working in people's lives. So
Let's go.
yeah, Jamie was awesome. He was took me to Grand Dunes to the Dunes Club to play golf for the first time. We went out there and watched a tournament and got me some golf clubs and started playing because of Jamie Quirk.
Shout out Jamie.
First Jamie I ever knew.
Shout out.
First boy Jamie I ever knew.
Okay.
Rest of them were girls. Caleb, you feel like that's a girl's name or a boy's name? You know any other girl's name, Caleb?
I have only
Hope
met
not.
only what
Hope
met one dude
What's
named Caleb.
What's the C on your chest stand for?
That's Carson.
It's Carson
Yep.
too.
3 Carsons.
Carson
Because
Newman.
I was named after Carson Newman. Yeah.
Named after Carson Newman because Grandpa went to Carson Newman,
Mhm.
graduated from there,
Yeah.
loved it, and said, "Hey, Reba, you have a boy, name him
Name
Carson.
Carson.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it."
That was just kind of something that she got on board with. The crazy thing is that like homecoming and stuff like that, they would call out my name and 6 kids would turn around and look and yeah, and it was
Super cool.
yeah.
Last time I had Carson Barfield on a podcast with me. She wants to be my new co-host.
That's what
For
I've
the fun-
heard.
I should be the co-host for the fun podcast because so many people told me
Into the mic.
that I did so good.
Okay, so when Carson was on here last time,
Uh-huh.
she put a little funny
Oh, the
reel
reel?
together.
Yep.
That was
And
good.
and if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it.
I love food.
I love food. So she put a little funny reel together with all of little random spots throughout the whole podcast, just back to back to back to back to back. And she's feisty
I'm feisty.
No comment.
because y'all have to be nice to each other.
We said we were going to be
We
nice to each other
agreed
before the
To
podcast.
be nice to each other on the podcast
Yeah.
because we have a very brother-sister relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we argue
Easily.
and bicker just to do it.
Yeah.
So.
You have that relationship with a lot of people, don't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
This might just be a you thing.
No, it's a us thing.
School started back
Mm-hmm.
For me,
for you.
it did. It did.
How's it going? What's class? What's the hard class?
Study of the solar system,
Whew.
astronomy.
Astronomy.
Yeah.
It has. Next week, I have 26 assignments due. Just in 1 week, 26 assignments for that one class. In sociology, I have 31 assignments all semester. And this class, I have 26 due next week. So,
So system ain't even
I'm
that
not
big.
sure how much information you can have about the stars, but I'm assuming I'm learning it all
All right.
next week.
Last time we had your wife Haley
Mhm.
on here with Carson,
Yeah.
and we talked about her dad passing,
Mhm.
and Carson said, "This is totally a downer. I don't want to talk about this. Y'all gonna have to figure something else out."
'Cause
Right
I
in the
could
middle of the
not
podcast.
chirp in.
So we had to stop the podcast and do like this little moment where,
Mhm.
okay, that was down in Carson. So, you
No.
no,
We can do it. It's okay. It's okay. We can do the fun stuff after.
I'm gonna
It's
ask
okay.
you a question,
Okay.
but I'm gonna talk to Carson so you have time to think through this question. Okay.
Okay.
This is perfect.
Okay. what did I do right as a father?
Ooh.
Okay. You're incredible. So what did I do as a father to help you be the woman that you are? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, be thinking.
I don't think I can multitask.
Be
while you
thinking.
talk about it.
Okay. Carson Stout. It's okay if I say grew up without a father.
Yeah, 100%.
That
is the story.
That is the story.
That is
It's always awkward, like figuring out how to phrase other people's stories because you don't want to be insensitive to other people in your life that were father figures. Your grandfather was obviously an amazing man who stepped in and filled a lot of voids in your life. So I don't want to be disrespectful to him, but grew up without a father. You had a strong male figure in your life,
Absolutely. But I didn't have a dad.
You didn't have a dad.
Yeah.
And similar to Haley, I know y'all joke about it a lot where her dad passed away when she was, what was it, 15 or 16?
Sophomore in high school.
Yeah. You didn't have those moments.
Mm-mm.
So you didn't. So single mom, trying to teach you all the things, like to drive or to change a tire or to, nail a hammer a nail in or whatever it may have been. Like single mom trying to teach you how to do all of those things, right?
Right.
And y'all have this super unique relationship.
Mhm.
I love Reba. Reba's awesome. Y'all know the reason. You know why I call her Reba?
What do you call Reba?
Why?
Because your grandma, I called her Becky one time,
Oh yeah. Oh, man,
and your
don't call
grandma
her
was like,
Becky.
"Don't ever call her
Don't
Becky,"
call her
and she was so mad at me.
Mhm.
And I said, "Fine, I'll call her something even dumber. I'll call her Reba." And guess what? It has stuck.
It's stuck.
It's
Everybody calls her.
stuck. Everybody
the amount
calls
of
her
people
Reba.
who say your name is Rebecca, like your name's not actually Reba, your name is Rebecca.
I love it.
Everybody gets her.
I love it. So Reba's teaching you all these things.
Yeah.
How is that growing up with learning how to shave from your mom, or learning or mom saying, "Carson, you stink. You got to wear deodorant. Do you have hair under your armpits yet?" All of those sorts of awkward
Stuff.
boy moments.
Mhm.
Learning about the birds and the bees. All of those awkward boy moments, and it's obvious that she was able to do it because of y'all's relationship. Now y'all are like feels like best buds. Y'all are, obviously she's remarried now and you're married now. Things are changing through life as it does. But when I first met you guys, it was like y'all are best buds and y'all had this really cool relationship. So how did growing up without a dad and Reba doing the best she could to be the father figure and help you through those things? How is that? How is that growing up in that?
YouTube helps. YouTube
Really?
helps a lot. Yeah. No, seriously. There's I learned how to change a tire on mom. Like there's a lot of stuff that I was like, man, mom doesn't really know how to do this stuff. So like I kind of had to figure this stuff out. Yeah.
Was it something like where you'd be like, "Hey mom, how do I do this?" And she'd be like, "I have no clue."
Sometimes,
and you're like, "Okay, well I'm gonna YouTube it."
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah. Learn how to tie a
Really?
tie from YouTube. Learn how to shave from YouTube. Stuff like that.
So you're going
Like
to your
this.
first choral concert and you got to wear a tie to it. 8th grade dance, you got to wear a tie
I
to
learned how to
it.
tie my own tie.
And mom's like, "I have no clue."
Yeah.
So you YouTube it.
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh,
There was
that's
a lot
innovative.
of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that it was like, "Mom, I need help with this. Like, can you help me with this?" Or she would say, "Hey, learn how to do this with me." Like, my mom, like I learned how to cook from my mom,
Awesome.
and so like one of the things that I love doing is like I love cooking.
You do. You are a really great
I
cook.
I love cooking. So like,
That
I learned
bacon
that
you
from
You're
cooked
my
the other
mom.
night
Man.
was
Don't even talk about it. Don't even
awesome.
talk about it. Don't say nothing. Don't
I
say
said
nothing.
your
Don't say nothing.
ham.
Oh, the ham.
I won't talk about the
Whew,
burnt
that ham was so good.
bacon.
It was so good, Carson.
It was good.
So mom taught you how to cook.
Yeah, mom taught me how to cook. If it was, a night after football or, whatever, like after school or something like that, she'd pull me in the kitchen and she'd say, "Hey, would you help me do this? Would you help me prepare this?" And it was moments like that where like we were super cool, like growing up, because for a long time it was just us. Like it was just me and mom.
Okay. Really morbid, warped, strange question.
Hit me.
You may have never even, I don't know, maybe this isn't warped. Maybe this is something you've thought about or people have asked before.
Yeah.
Single mom raising a boy, and you're an only child. It's not like
Mhm.
it's not like you have other siblings that y'all can figure stuff out with.
Just
It's
me and
just
mom.
her, just
Me
you
and
and
mom.
mom.
Yeah.
yet you and mom, and yet you still turn out, I love football. I love you're, I mean, you're the fixer guy. You're she's gonna, thank God you decided to be nice. Cause as I say this, she will have something smart to say.
Come on.
You're manly man. You know what I mean? You're like, how did growing up inside of a home with a single mom, learning to cook, how did you also, attach yourself to, I guess maybe cultural masculinity, and also go down like paths of football and things of that nature?
When it came to like the football thing, I'd always loved football.
Okay.
Like as soon as I watched my first game on TV,
Mom a sports fan?
Mom's a huge sports
Yeah.
fan. Yeah. Whole family's big sports
Yeah.
fan. Grandparents love the Packers. They're big football fans. So like the sports side of it was like, that was just kind of in the DNA. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The manlier stuff, like the fix it stuff. I see you smiling, dog. You gotta stop smiling at me. The fix it stuff in our family, it was just like, hey, can you help me with this? And you figure it out. Like grandparents need help. Doing this, fixing this. We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll do it. And so like when it was just me and mom, it was my mom needs help, so I need to figure out how to help mom.
Super cool.
And so,
oh man, that's good.
Yeah. It was like, I just need to figure out how to help mom.
Because mom does really well financially now, but y'all struggled.
Yeah, of course.
And so,
especially she was like early in her career.
Yeah.
She was still, head teller, and she was working her way up through the banking system. It was tough.
So calling a plumber wasn't an option. So, hey, Carson.
We figured it out.
Let's figure this out.
We figured it out.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And ironically, that still flows into your work life here at times. Mm-hmm. Where there are times where you need to call a plumber,
and I just say,
and instead you're like, I'll figure it out. And you're like, what are you doing? You are sitting here in a pile of manure. What are you doing? And you're like, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I got it. Just leave me alone. I got it. And I'm like, just call the plumber.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. It was always and even with my grandparents, we lived with my grandparents for a little while, and it was, oh, you need help cleaning the kitchen after dinner? I'll just help clean the kitchen. Yeah, that's what we do. We just help each other out.
And it's again, a lot of the things from your childhood are obvious as you are growing. You're such a servant. You're such a, there's never a sense of entitlement to you because you had to be the one that was. You couldn't just rely on mom to do everything. You had to jump in there and help her cook or help her clean or help her, fix toilets or whatever it was. So a lot of that has filtered into even your work life and who you are as a person. So it's super neat.
Totally.
Super neat.
Yeah.
What did I do right as a father?
A lot.
Okay.
I don't want it to look like I'm struggling.
Okay.
Can I scoot this towards me?
You can. You can move it wherever you want to.
Is that better?
Sure.
So mean.
What? A lot. I don't know. Everything?
Come on. I'm trying to help parents here. Give them some wisdom.
You were strict.
Okay.
Which in the moment didn't seem like the right thing for you to do, but now that I'm older, it was.
Yep. Let's talk down that path, okay?
Okay.
We'll use social media for an example.
Right.
When kind of our rule in the house, I don't know where the rule came from. It was just kind of one of those things where pondering what was normal for social media and what was going to be the thing for our kids. In today's world, social media is such a part of everybody's life. Mm-hmm. But I'll say 8 years ago for Caleb, when he was in, just starting high school, was that 8 years ago? 7 years ago? Something of that nature? 6 years ago?
2018. 6 years ago.
Okay. So 6 years ago, when Caleb's starting out high school, social media is a big thing, but it's not like, oh my gosh, everybody's checking social media every moment of every day. And so you understood the pressures of social media. You understood the dangers of social media at that time. Snapchat, I know Snapchat has changed a lot from what I hear. I don't have it, but from what I hear, it's changed a lot. But when Snapchat first came out, there was a lot of people sending sexual type pictures, and they disappear, and no accountability for those pictures, and kids getting into a lot of trouble. And so Maddie and I just decided when Caleb turns 18, because at that time on social media, you had to be 18 to have social media. I don't think it's that way now, right?
No.
I think it might still be 17 plus.
For some of them, maybe.
For some of them,
people just lie about their age about it.
That's
Gotcha.
it's
they'll
very
just
easy.
move. They'll and ask for your birthday. They'll change the year.
It's very easy to.
So
Yeah.
so we just decided, hey, if social media thinks the best time for them to have social media is when they're 18, surely we as parents shouldn't lower the standard.
Right.
So we just said, hey, let's just make a rule. At 18, that's when they get social media.
Yeah.
And we laughed that all their first social media was the Bible app. That was their first
True.
social media.
True.
I remember when they were going on there, they were so excited to friend everybody on the Bible app and so excited about it. But so they never had social media through high school. And I remember when Carson first got it, she turns 18. I guess she had it the last couple months of high school.
Yep.
Right? Like from February till the end of the year, till the high school end.
Yeah.
And I remember one day her saying, I totally get it. I totally get why y'all didn't let me have this in high school. That was a wise decision. And in the moment, doesn't seem wise, but definitely some wisdom to it.
Yep.
What else? I was strict on that. What? I mean, that was definitely one. What else was I strict on?
What were you strict on?
You said I was strict. What was that? What was I strict? That's an easy one. What else?
I don't know if you were strict as much as you held us to really high standards, and it felt like strictness as kids.
In what? Like, give me an example real quick.
Anytime we acted out, not that we were publicly ridiculed, but we were instantly ridiculed, whether it was taken out of the room and we'd come back crying.
Yeah,
you
for sure.
You were not a play games kind of guy.
Yeah, for sure. You're going to get corrected in the moment.
Yeah.
Because you acted out in the
the
moment,
worst.
we're gonna correct you in the moment.
So embarrassing.
So
That's definitely Haley is definitely. We'll talk about it when we get home, and I'm definitely. No, let's just do it right now.
Yeah.
You messed up right now. Let's talk about it right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was definitely that way. So, when Carson spit on me, it was okay. No, we're gonna talk about this right now. When she bit me, no, we're gonna go to the bathroom right now, and we're gonna
This
have
is
this
like what, a
conversation.
year ago.
I did not bite or spit on you.
Yes, you did. You did both of those things.
I don't think.
You were an animal at 5 and 6 years old.
And 14 and 15 and 16.
No, I think because their friends' parents
Oh man,
didn't have the standard that I had,
that's always the hardest part.
it made it feel like I was strict.
Mm,
Yeah, maybe you were just normal,
I
and they were
way too
right?
relaxed.
Like
Right.
if you look back now, if you were to ask Ricky, what's up, Ricky? I'm sure you're watching this podcast for the first time ever because your
You gotta
beautiful
send it to him.
girlfriend is
Send it to him.
on the
I
podcast
didn't
with me.
watch the last one.
But if you
Sure.
ask Ricky
Uh-huh.
if some of the standards that we had in our house were not, I guarantee you there's some of the same standards he had in his house.
Oh yeah, his parents were just like you.
Right. And so for us, it's just normal Christian values that my kid's not a senior in high school and gonna hang out till midnight. But for their friends,
They were doing
Oh,
that in
that's a
8th
given.
grade.
they were doing that in 8th grade.
They were sneaking out, partying in 8th
And I'm like,
grade.
oh my goodness.
Even when I was in middle school, like if you had a phone, that you were cool. Like that was the thing. If you had a phone, and so I'm sitting there at the lunch table at 7th grade, just sitting there eating my lunch. Everybody's playing on their phone. They're playing. At the time, it was like Flappy Bird was the cool game. They're all playing, and I had a track phone that like I called my mom when I got off the bus.
Yeah.
And that was it. And everybody made fun of me because I didn't have a phone. I was like, man, Mom, why can I not get a phone? And no, she was actually protecting me at the time.
Yeah.
She was just protecting me.
So wild, man. It's so wild that in leadership development, it's a class that I teach, and at the end of leadership development, we always have people share their stories. And inside of those stories, you wouldn't believe how many people got into bad situations because of the leadership in their life, parents or uncles who were watching them or whatever, not caring or not watching or not protecting them like they should, and then them getting, sexually abused or physically abused or getting strung out on things that, they should have never even had any interaction with, but getting strung out on those things and it ruining the next 20, 30 years of their life because they went over to a friend's house and it's like, what in the world? Yeah. So, yeah, I was definitely I would say maybe less strict, maybe way more protective of my kids than other people's parents were. Right?
Right.
I would say, like even their phones, we went through a season where, I pay for your phone, I pick it up and look at it anytime I want to. So we went through a season where not bad stuff, just it was like, why are you watching this on YouTube? Okay, so let's shut down phones at this time. Why are you? I mean, it got to the place where, and again, none of it like terrible, awful stuff. It's just like, why
people using bad language, stuff like that.
Right, stuff like that. Or hey, I'm FaceTiming my friend at midnight, and you're like, why are you FaceTiming at midnight? You're supposed to be in bed. You went to bed. Your bedtime was 10. You went to bed at 10. So then, okay, now we're going to put everybody's phones in here, and so it was always trying to protect them. At the moment, may not have seemed like protection for them. They may have seen it as you're being uber strict, where we just saw it as I'm trying to protect you because there's stupid people out there, man.
Yeah.
Was your mom strict?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like
She
strict?
was.
Like strict, like, here goes your curfew, this is it, you break it, I'm sitting up looking at you, waiting on you, or strict, like, you better not talk back to me, I'm like...
Mama's she's a whooper.
Yeah.
She whoop you. Straight up. She'd whoop you. And so, like, early on in my life, I figured out, like, oh, that's just probably not a smart thing to do. So, like, the staying out late, the doing all that stuff, like, I had a generally good moral compass.
You did.
Like, starting from a very young age.
Yeah, you're a good kid.
I had a generally good moral compass. And so I was like, stay out until midnight, go to this birthday party that's going to last till 1 a.m. I might as well just not even show up. I'm just going to stay home.
Yeah.
I kind of had that kind of growing up. I never did anything stupid. Like we would go, after a football game, we'd go out to Waffle House and we'd be out till 11:30, but mom knew exactly where I was. She knew exactly who I was with. That was always the thing. It was like, where are you going? Who are you with? Especially when I got into high school, the restraint got a little bit less because she was like, okay, you've built trust over the last few years. Who are you with? Where are you going? What time are you going to be home? If you're not home by the time you say you're going to be home, then we're going to have to talk about it.
Yeah. And listen, my kids will tell you, I'm very much the same way. As long as you communicate with me, as long as you tell me where you're at, who you're with, why are you there? Carson, if she says, hey, I'm going to be home at 10, and then at, 9:30, she texts me and says, hey, we're going to run by Target real quick because we got to pick up XYZ. Okay, no worries. And she comes pulling in at 10:15, no worries.
Thanks for letting me know.
But if Carson tells me she's going to be home at 10, and then at 10:15 she comes rolling in without texting me, then I'm standing at the door going, why didn't you text me?
Which I don't do that.
She doesn't do that. No, I'm just saying.
Just an example.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Like my kids are amazing, but I think it's because of
the
childhood that they grew up through, that at times they didn't like. You
got to get it early.
You do.
Got to get it early.
The protection that we put in place, I used to say I got 2 rules: don't lie, don't be disrespectful. They've heard that their whole life, and again, they didn't know whenever they were little that a lot of things got lumped into those 2 rules.
Right.
So if you fought with your brother and sister, it was like, hey, you're being disrespectful.
Yeah.
If you talk back to mom and dad, hey, you're being disrespectful. Yeah. If you threw a mess, threw a fit at dinner or didn't clean up after, hey, you're being disrespectful. And so if you, hey, we're trying to read the Bible and I don't want to read the Bible, hey, you're being disrespectful. Things of that nature that fell into that. And so don't lie, don't be disrespectful. And so we were very protective of them. I don't know that I would call it strict. We were definitely rule followers. I think because whenever you set rules and then you follow rules, it feels strict that that you set rules
to the rules.
Right, exactly.
Strict.
In the moment.
compared to,
Correct.
again, other
Correct.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like public school parents.
For sure.
Which is why my kid, in years, is not going to public school.
Yeah.
I'm homeschooling. Because I'm strong.
You gonna teach him?
Yes.
Hey, Trump said you get $10,000 to do that homeschool.
Hey, my boy.
Get that 20, get that 10 grand.
Okay, but like I was saying, which I forgot because
Strict compared to
Public school.
Yeah, but I was saying, like we, as in me, Caleb, Cammy, probably Carson, we're very like didn't fall into things that other people did. Like we were strong-willed with like what we believed in and like what we were taught.
For sure.
But like some kids who have that we grew up with in church that have been taught the same thing by the same parents are often crazy now.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not even giving my kid a chance
No
to act
chance.
like that, being at home.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
And like the cool thing was like, Mom set it up to where like, the more interesting, the more fun, the more engaging thing was happening at home anyway.
Yeah.
And like that was just what it was. You know, even if we were just sitting around watching a movie, like that was more interesting than doing anything else outside of the house.
Maddie and I made it a point that every Friday night, I'll say, we don't now but maybe not all we do sometimes now, but we tried to make it a point that every Friday night we were going to dinner somewhere.
Sure.
Or we were, hey, we're going to dinner with this family if y'all want to go. That way they had another choice.
Right.
If they wanted to go to the football game, totally fine. Go to the football game. But we're going to dinner with Carson if you want to go to dinner with us.
Yeah.
And then they're like, who do I want to go to dinner with? At least there was another option there for them.
Right.
And we tried to do that a lot in their life. We tried to do things that they would be interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be, hey, we're going to play putt-putt, not because we want to play putt-putt, but because we wanted to give them another option.
Right.
Rather than, all I do is sit around on Friday night and do nothing, and, y'all watching TV in there, and y'all don't even, my friends are outside playing, and y'all are in here doing, and so we tried to give them other options, and hopefully good options that, and they have. They would always want to go with us and always want to hang out with us and be a part
If
of.
it's a food option, I'm
Food's
choosing it.
Food's key, man. Food's key.
Especially food I don't gotta
love
pay
food.
for. Like Dad said last podcast I was on.
Mm-hmm.
I love food.
I love food.
I love food.
How is young married couple? How is the strains of marriage?
I wouldn't even call them strains. It's fun.
Sure, marriage is fun,
Right.
but there are strains in marriage.
Oh, yeah.
Financial strains. You were heating up pizza the other day for lunch, and Haley's like, I hate pizza, and you're like, yeah, but this is free, and Haley's like, I'd rather not eat anything than eat Little Caesars pizza, and so
That's true.
So there are
That's true.
financial strains.
Yeah.
There are, I'll say, emotional strains that, you guys have been together for such a long time, but there are things that just emotionally, Haley deals with some emotional stuff, and you gotta deal with those things. There's spiritual strains now that probably weren't there in the past, because now you're the man of the household and you've got to lead your family, where it used to be just Carson, stay engaged spiritually for yourself. Now it's, I've got to lead my family in this, and she's got to see me praying and see me reading my Bible and watch me, So how is the strains of a newlywed couple?
The emotional side of it is, I'll talk about that one, because that one's fresh. Like, some of it's small stuff. Like, the other day I cleaned the house. We had company come over, so I kind of deep cleaned the house a little bit. And Haley has a work bag that she has. She always keeps it in the same spot, but I always see it in the same spot. So I'm like, oh, she's forgotten about it. I'm going to put it away. She doesn't use it anymore.
Mhm.
So I put it away. It's a bag that she takes with her to work. And the other day she was looking for it, like 2-3 days ago. She goes, where's my bag?
Oh, no.
And I said, what bag? The one you don't use because it's literally sitting in the same spot every single day? And she's like, yeah, my work
Ooh.
bag that I take with me to work and then put it back in the same spot so I don't forget where it is. And I said, oh, that bag. Yeah, I have no idea where I put that bag. And she's like, I need it. And I said, I have no idea where that bag is. And it was a little mini fight. Like we had, like, she was upset at me and I was like, I was just trying to clean the house. I'm sorry. And stuff like that. But, you know, there was a night or two ago, like I've gotten to the point where I've learned, we talked about it on the marriage cruise, where I've got to learn to shut my mouth and listen. And a couple of nights ago, there was a moment where Haley just needed to unload and need me to not say anything. She just needed me to listen. And it was really good. You know, we sat there, we cried, you know, she gave me everything she had, and I said, okay, you ready? And yep, okay, I'm ready. You can tell me what I need to hear. So those kinds of moments are
tough.
They're tough.
Yeah.
Especially for me, because I'm the fix-it guy. I want to, I see the problem. I see the problem. Literally,
Yeah.
it's right in front of my eyes. Just let me fix it. But there's a processing that has to happen. There's like, even after we were done talking, she said, thank you for letting me get all that out. Thank you for just sitting there and just let me talk to you. So the emotional side of it, we're getting a lot better at it. We're getting a lot better. Definitely the weight of the spiritual is something that I'm working through.
I was about to say, still dealing with, right?
I'm working through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took me years to grasp it. Took me kids to grasp it.
Yeah.
Especially
Especially the seeing part of it. I do the stuff, but not necessarily in a place where it's seen.
I'm gonna tell you what changed my heart on this, and I didn't even know that I was doing it in a place where they could see me. But we were on a marriage retreat, and Tony was giving a talk. There were only like 10 people in the room. I don't know. It was really small. We were new church, you know, probably first marriage retreat. Tony was giving a talk about leading your family and about the word, reading the word. And Kim's just crying. And we got to the end of I don't know if this is exactly how it went, but this is how I feel like it went in my mind. This is how I remember it going.
Yeah.
We got to the end of the talk, and they were like, anybody having questions or anybody got anything to want to say? And Kimberly's like, just crying. And she's like, I don't know why you said all that stuff. You'll never read your Bible. Tony's like, read my Bible every day. What are you talking about? She's like, I never see you reading your Bible. And Tony's like, it was this awkward moment for Tony.
Of course.
Like, I can't believe you're calling me out in front of everybody. But then also this moment for all of us of, okay, like we need to be doing this together.
Yeah.
You reading your Bible, me reading my Bible is great. But if we're not doing this together, or at least in a place of this is when I do it, you see me doing it.
Yeah.
And so I just purposed in my head, my kids will tell you, there's, you know, first thing in the morning, I'm sitting in my chair, reading my Bible, listening to my Bible. Cup of coffee. This is what I have done their entire life since that moment.
When I would go to work, and my grandma's a spiritual giant. She's incredible. When I would get up for work every morning, I'd go to work at 7 a.m. I'd go to work sometimes at 6. I'd go to work at 8. She would know when I was going to work, and I feel like she did it on purpose. Now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like she did it on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
She had this 365-day devotional book that sat beside her recliner every morning before I would leave to work. She'd make sure she was in her recliner, reading her book.
That's right.
To make sure she could tell me goodbye. But it was also, and I remember that now. I see every time, man, grandma's getting the word today.
That's right. And back when my kids used to get up at the same time, now, you know, maybe
You're not even awake. And
let's say I'm gone before they even wake up now.
Yeah.
But back then, whenever they were in school, they all woke up around the same time. You know, this is where Dad's going to be.
Yeah.
Dad's reading his Bible. If you walk in and talk to me, that's fine. I'll pause what I'm doing, listen to you, hug you, say good morning to you, but then I'm going back to my coffee, back to my word.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tricky. Caleb, you ever let Reagan just vomit on you like Haley did to Carson and not try to fix it? You ever just refuse to be Mr. Fix It?
All the time, man. All the
Boy.
time.
That boy.
I can hear the sarcasm. in his
Carson, you ever let
No,
Ricky
that's
just
true. That ain't sarcastic.
you ever let Ricky just word vomit on you without?
Heck no.
Nah, I didn't think
I
so.
word vomit on him.
Does he just let you?
I'm gonna say I feel like
He
it's a
just
weird thing
takes it.
for a guy to do. Like in my mind, like if I were to do that to Haley, I feel like I'm just being a burden. And I was like, no, I'll figure it out.
Totally get it.
Is that weird?
No, it's the.
You
I mean,
kind
it's
of
who we are.
About
It's who
that,
we are as
you know,
men. Yeah.
in your last podcast with Mom.
Yeah.
Kinda
Yeah. Go back and
hold it
watch
to
the last
yourself.
podcast with me and Maddie. Hold it
Shout
to
out.
ourselves.
Mhm.
You know, carry the burden myself, and I'm good. I'm I'm the man. I can
Power through
handle
this,
it.
yeah.
Power through this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you need people in your life, man. You need people in your life where you can word vomit to somebody not of the opposite sex. You need somebody in your life, a role model or a peer or somebody that you can say, hey, this is what's happening inside of me right now.
Yeah.
Anyways, anything else you want to say? Anything that's just been balling up inside of you that you're just trying to get out?
I feel like you want to say something about me being a man.
I'll leave that one later. I'll wait till the cameras
Wait till
cut.
the podcast is over.
Here's your chance.
It's the Carson episode. Which one's your favorite?
Ooh, that's such a terrible question to ask him.
I mean, I
I
think
feel like that's so easy.
I think there's no questions. It's
it's
you.
me. Oh.
No.
We'll end on that note.
Oh, she's something else.
Wait,
Anyway.
you didn't do.
What?
Oh, what?
You didn't do podcast time.
No, we did.
Yes, I did.
Yes, he did.
We did.
I wasn't
What
paying
else did I miss?
attention.
Yeah.
Pet peeve of the week.
Noggin pounding.
Oh, pet peeve of the week?
Yeah. I got chilies on the way.
Chili's on the way.
Oh, triple
Thanks for hanging
dipper.
out with us. Love you guys.
Yeah.
Peace out. Let's go.
That's what